What's going on, guys? It's Groove back again with another one, and today we got a good one. We have the Almanac of Nival Rivikant. So who the heck is Nival Rivikant? So he owns an angel investment company, so he's able to invest in things like Coinbase and Uber like years and years in advance. But before that, he's built a lot of tech companies inside Silicon Valley, so he knows a thing or two about getting rich and building wealth. So we're going to be going over his guide to doing that today, because there is an actual guide. There is a way to get rich and wealthy, and most people just don't understand how to do that, or, that path to take. So we're going to be going over that today. So he says, first off, you need to understand it's not really about working hard. You can work hard in a restaurant 80 hours a week and you're not going to get rich. Getting rich is about knowing what to do, who to do it with, and when to do it. He's like, yes, hard work does matter and you can't skimp on it, but it has to be directed into the right ways. Wealth is having assets that will earn while you sleep. Again, there's only so many hours in the day. You need to have your money making money for you. So he wants you to understand that ethical wealth creation is possible. If you secretly despise the wealth, it will elude you. Now, again, this is another big one, because everybody, well, no, I'm not going to say everybody, but there's a lot of people that think that if somebody's rich or wealthy, they got it the wrong way. They got it the bad way. They snaked people. It was a pump and dump. It was a scheme. Like, every rich person today is a grifter for some reason, or at least that's what a lot of people think. Oh, don't listen to that person. They're a grifter. And it's like, just because somebody's rich doesn't mean they're a grifter. Now, maybe they are, but you can still learn how they did it as well. Like, don't let that one go over your head. Just because if you believe somebody's a grifter and they get rich off of selling you something, which is how you get rich anyway, selling a product or a service. But, you can take their formula and apply it to your own life to do it yourself. You don't have to just do it the bad way unethically. You're not going to get rich by renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. Again, so many people, they're like, okay, well, I'm working at Walmart. How do I get rich? Okay, well, I need to go back to school, get a degree, and then be a doctor or a lawyer. But even those jobs, those high-paying jobs, that's not how you get rich. Now, it may put some money in your pocket. You may drive a Benz or a BMW and live in a nice house, but that's not how you get rich. That's not how you get wealthy. So here's the major key that most people don't understand. You will get rich by giving society what it wants, but it does not yet know that it needs. Again, I'll say that again. You will get rich by giving society what it wants, but it does not yet know that it needs. You need to sell a product or a service to a vast amount of people that they don't know that they need it yet. Now you just need to figure out what that is, which that's the hard part. But again, that's key. You need to sell something that a lot of people want that they don't know that they want yet. He says one easy way to do this, once you figure out what that is through the internet. He says the internet has massively broadened the possible space of careers. Most people haven't figured this out yet. And this book came out in 2020, and he's still saying that most people haven't figured the internet out yet. Again, another key factor, learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. It's all about building, all about selling a product. It's not trading your time for money or renting your life out, if you will. Now, everybody's got to start somewhere, so you might have to start there. Everybody's got to start out with a job, but you stack some bread, get some money in your pocket, and then you learn to build a business or sell a product or service. And you don't even need to always do that. If you can get in online, it doesn't even require that much money to start doing something like e-commerce or drop shipping or something like that. Now, it will take a lot of time and some knowledge. You're not just going to start out. We may see those drop shippers are like, oh, I made $50,000 this month. You're not going to start out doing that. But over time, if you learn, if you stick with it, if you stick with a business or a product of your own uniqueness, you can do that. So again, learn to sell, learn to build. And another thing that he doesn't mention today, that may be harder for the younger generation, because a lot of people, they're very socially awkward today, at least the younger generation. And so when you're trying to learn to sell, you need to learn how to talk to people. He says we should all arm ourselves with specific knowledge. So what's specific knowledge? He says this is knowledge you can't be trained for. If society can train you for something, it can train somebody else and replace you. So how the heck are we supposed to know how to acquire this specific knowledge? He says this is found pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever's hot right now. Building this knowledge will feel like play to you but look like work to others. He says, but when it is taught, it's through apprenticeships and not school. So again, you're going to learn from somebody who's like, hey, not many people know how to do this, but I'm going to teach you. But if you're just going to go to school and get a degree and get that piece of paper, like that's not how you build wealth. Or that's not how you build that specific knowledge that can get you to wealth. He says specific knowledge is often highly technical and creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated. And you see a lot of people today that are getting, they're getting themselves displaced by AI. A lot of people who are working from home right now, just think about this on a higher level, right? If you're working from home, you're pretty much like an AI bot already to the company. It's like the company doesn't need to see you. Like maybe you hop on a Zoom call once or twice a week, but if you're just working from home, firing off emails, like clicking a mouse on a screen, it's like if they can find an AI to do that for them, they're going to replace you. And a lot of people are getting scared. They're like, oh my God, my job just fired me on a Zoom call. It's like that job you have, you are pretty much like an AI. And so if they can find a computer program to do what you're doing, it's over for you. And a lot of people don't think about that. So understand that if you're working from home, like I would be trying to figure out how to get out of that job, or, saving up some money so when that time comes, you can pivot. So some ways to use your specific knowledge. He talks about coding. Now, again, this book came out in 2020. So even now, 5 years later, if you're a coder, you might not want to go down that route either, because now you can just prompt AI to do the coding for you if you're a business. So you don't even really need you don't need coders anymore. But he also mentions that, if you can't code, which again, I feel like that route is kind of going away, but he says to write books or do ebooks or blogs or record videos or do podcasts. Again, getting into content creation, using your specific knowledge, using your uniqueness to build an audience. And then you go from there to selling things. Now, even when it comes to YouTube, right? Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to go viral. Even the AdSense revenue, that's very small and minuscule. The whole point of YouTube, and I don't really hear too many people talking about this. Now, I've heard a few people talking about this, but the point of YouTube, the point of content creation is to build a tribe, right? If you think, hey, I'm going to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and then this AdSense revenue, that's how I'm going to get rich. That's not it. The AdSense revenue is cool if you have that many subscribers, but the real bag, the real way to get wealthy from YouTube or content creation is you build an audience, you get 1,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. You've got your tribe of 10,000 people. Then you start selling goods and services. Then you start selling books and courses, and you start a Patreon. And that way your group, your tribe will come and they will buy from you because they like what you have to offer. That is how you make money from content creation. You build an audience and then you sell to them. And again, this comes with selling high goods and products and services. You want to sell high quality stuff. Don't just sell them cheap stuff and they'll buy it once and be like, what the heck is this? I got no value from this, and they won't do it again. So you build a core audience and then you sell high quality goods and services. It's not really about getting 100, 200, 300,000 subscribers and hopefully all your videos get millions of views. That is very, very small. That is a very small percentage of people who can do that. Everybody's goal should be to get an audience, 10,000, 15, 20,000 subscribers. Hopefully it keeps growing, but you get your small audience, you get your tribe, and then you sell items and goods and services to them. He says from there, then you become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until it is true. There are no get rich quick schemes. Those are just someone else getting rich off of you. And again, this is why a lot of people today, they will look at these people like Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki and they'll be like, these guys are grifters. They're just selling a course. And it's like, you don't have to buy their course to understand how they get rich and how they get wealthy. You can still take their information and apply it to yourself and then use that to level up. You don't just have to go, I'm going to write them completely off because they're trying to sell a course. Nobody is a monolith. You can, just because, you don't have to take everything from one person and you don't have to take nothing from one, but you can just pick and choose. All right, I like what they're doing over here about this. I like what they say about this. I like the course that they sell over here about this. Or, when they're talking about real estate, all right, they understand real estate. I'm going to take what they say and I'm going to apply it to myself. Just because if you believe somebody's a grifter doesn't mean that everything they say is wrong. And that's pretty much it after that. Again, you build an audience and then you learn to sell. Learn to build a business or have equity in a business and then learn to sell to people. When it comes to this content creation game, you need to build a tribe, build an audience, and then sell a product or a service. And then just keep redoing that, keep redefining that, and just keep trying to scale that. Wealth is ultimately the thing you want. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. Wealth is the factory, the robots cranking out the things. Wealth is the computer program that's running at night, servicing other customers. And that's key too. Again, wealth is the thing you want. It's not the money. It's not the high salary. Yeah, that may be nice, but it's the wealth. Even a lot of people today who have a high salary, they're broke. They're like, I'm just barely making it. Society will pay you for creating things that it wants, but it does not yet know that it needs. Then from there, you just figure out how to scale it. And the easiest way to do that today is definitely social media, TikTok, YouTube, content creation, because you can have all the products and services in the world, but if nobody knows that you have them, you're kind of dead in the water. So this is kind of the way you do it now. It's just content creation, getting yourself out there, getting your products and services out there, building your audience, building a tribe. And so, yeah, so that's his small guide to getting rich and building wealth. Again, it's not a job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not renting out your time. You need to learn to build and sell whatever products you have. And then from there, just scale it. And the easiest way to do that is from podcasting, YouTube, is just getting yourself out there. So that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you guys took something from this. Again, it's not a get rich quick scheme. There is steps. You can build it brick by brick, but a lot of people don't understand that. They're just like, oh, I'm just going to go to school and get a good job. And that's not how you do it today. That's not how you get rich. That's not how you get wealthy. And we see a lot of people with these degrees. I have a degree and I got fired. Like, that's not it. So hopefully you learned a little bit about something. Hopefully you can figure out what your specific knowledge is, start creating your own content, building a tribe, and then selling high quality goods and services. And yeah, so that's it for this one. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.